explain to you how the targeted individual program works in full detail. As a living survivor of this program, I have been targeted and gang-stalked for a lot of years now. When it first became obvious in my case, it was in 2021. But of course I know that I have been under heavy surveillance probably since childhood or my school years, in high school in particular. And I will share with you knowledge which I have gathered through books which I have read on the subject, stories of survivors like me. An agent from CIA who passed away last year, and he was exposing this program. He was called Robert Duncan. He was working as a software engineer on this type of hidden DARPA project, Defense Agency and National Security Agency project from the CIA. And he was helping people like me. He had this type of group, community mind hacking strategy group, and he used to help people, to explain to them how this works. And also I will share this information like an Intel report in this type of format, because it has very deep occultic roots in the conspiracy against humanity. And now I will begin this explanation. To understand why this is happening, why there are people like me who are targeted, who are persecuted, terrorized, gang-stalked by this military, hidden secret psychotronic technology which beams sounds into your head, voices into your head, and it can also beam artificial dreams, concepts, ideas. It's basically a mind control technology which also uses directed energy weapons which can be used during wartime for crowd control purposes and to disarm the enemy, to even kill the enemy. This technology can induce heart attacks, strokes. The passed away agent Robert Duncan, he could have passed away just like that because he was giving away sensitive information which those corrupt individuals in power don't want people to know. And to understand how this works, you have to understand that this planet, this civilization is corrupt to the core. It has become a very evil, an extremely evil civilization. Those in power in the secret societies, in death codes, they're extremely evil, and nowadays they hate the white European man, the Carpathian man. I am a Carpathian man. I was born in Bulgaria, but I have DNA from my ancestors who come from the northern European landscape, from the Carpathian Mountains. And for some occultism, I have reached this conclusion through my research. These Caucasian vampire types, they're from the Sumerian Draconian Empire and from the Atonist Empire of Egypt, when the dynasty of Akhenaton killed good people who were worshippers of Sekhmet, the cat desert war goddess, worshippers of Horus, of Ra. They were killed off basically, and almost everyone in Egypt became Sethian. They worshipped the dog goat, the evil dog deity. And these Atonists, they have created the Abrahamic religions, these Jewish evil religions which have nothing to do with the true ancestry of the white European, Northern and Carpathian man. And they have infiltrated my culture, they have subdued my people, and they have created a very merciless totalitarian regime to consolidate their power. And these are the deep occultic roots of this program. From the times of the Sumerian Draconian Empire, they used to sacrifice babies to Moloch. And nowadays this continues, but nowadays not only do they sacrifice children and babies in their secret death cults, they sacrifice people on mass scale, in plain sight, in wars, in these types of catastrophes which happen in societies. And they don't value human life, they don't respect us as humans. They are not from humanity. Basically they're from the evil powers. If you want to understand them in the context of Northern Scandinavian mythology, the Viking mythology, they're not from the Asgardians from Valhalla, but they're from Loki. He was the fire giant. He was punished by Odin. He was hated by the Asgardians because he killed Balder. And Balder is the archetype for humanity. I am like Balder, and they want to destroy me. They want to destroy every targeted individual. Humanity is, in a sense, in the position of Balder. It is a very sad fate. But now we are living in the times of Ragnarok. It is the end times. And those who are in power, they're from the ancient evil. They're like Loki, the trickster god. They're basically not connected to humanity. They have no compassion towards humanity. They sacrifice humanity. And they're evil psychopaths, sociopaths. They just kill everyone who gets in the way of their power. And these are some deep occultic roots of this program. Now, in the terms of modern day society, we can very easily explain what this program is. There are three types of organizations which control the world. They control nations, politics, they control the mafia, all of the cartels. And these three types of organizations, they are the International Crime Syndicate, the Satanic Hidden Mafias. They are the International Banking Cartel, those families, elite ruling rich families who can buy whole nations, who can create wars and fund both sides. And they are the international death cults, which are in a certain sense the central point of their power, because their magical power comes from them. I explained to you just now what these death cults worship. They're Atonists. they have this religion, this Jewish, Judeo-Christian religion, which glorifies human sacrifice. It is a very perverted and sick religion. I believe it is a religion for the mentally ill, for the lost souls, the army of the dead. For example, Loki in the Norse mythology has an army of the dead, and I think all of these religious types, they're like the Walking Dead, they're zombified golems. They don't possess spirits of their own. In a sense, they don't really have free will, they just follow orders. They're like Loki's army of the dead. And the Roman Judeo-Christian religion, which rules through the Vatican, it is mocking us humans. It's basically there in our faces. It's a religion of cannibalism, of human sacrifice. They drink the blood of the Christ, and the Christ was never killed on the cross. It is another false Roman fairy tale. The true Christ was never crucified, but only those with the occult knowledge know of these secrets. And the religion is for the masses, for the golems, for the walking dead, in a certain sense. And these three types of organizations, they control all of the world. And when they don't like someone, for example me, they put this label, you're a dissident, like in every totalitarian regime, during the Nazi times, during fascist times, during communist times, in the Soviet Russia. Everyone who didn't comply to their nasty, stupid and evil system was labeled a dissident, was labeled a problem, and they were killed, they were sent to prison, to the concentration camps. Basically, they were treated like total garbage, with no respect for the free-thinking human. And now they want to make this again. We are living in the end times, the times of the Third World War, when the Zionist factions are warring against the Islamist factions. And nowadays, in this Third World War, what they want to achieve is create a totally controlled, technocratic, fascist, communist type of regime. A regime where you as a human have no privacy, no rights, no private property, no money, and no food. They basically want to take away every single one of your rights. They want to turn you into a golem, a zombie, a pussified man, a weak man who cannot stand up for his white Aryan race and defend his European heritage. They want you to accept Islam, Jewish, Judeo-Christianity and all these types of atheist, insane death cults, because these are death cults in their core. There is no difference between Satanism and Christianity. They're one and the same thing. It's a huge death cult, and only the initiated into the occult secrets know this. The profane, the masses, they're stupid and they don't understand this. So they go to church, they worship the devil. They think that the devil is their God. Well, no, the devil is not your God. The devil is the devil. He's an evil being. He's the personification of evil, of malice. He has brought death to this world. He does not care for humanity. He only wants to sacrifice you. Like Moloch wants to sacrifice you and your babies, so does the devil. And all of these insane death codes, they basically control all of the mafias, the cartels. Gangstalking is carried out by these cartels, by mafia members, by human traffickers, pimps, terrorists. In my case, they also use gypsy and Muslim Turkish terrorists. My country of Bulgaria was enslaved by the Ottoman Islamic Empire for 500 years, and so it is also an ethnic type of revenge that they take it out on me, the revenge. And also, I have noticed when they stalk me on the streets, they send all kinds of people to surveil me, but they also send these bum types, bum looking homeless types. Most of them are gypsies, sometimes they send white bum types, which is very strange to me. Why would a bum, basically a homeless type of person, gang stalk me? How would they have access to this information when I have a home and I don't have access to this information? I don't have access to psychotronic technology. I'm targeted by them, and they have given access to these types of secrets to some bum on the street, which is very absurd. It's very strange, but they employ all kinds of persons to gang stalk, and they basically control all of the police departments. They are corrupt, they're mafia. They're not actually police, they're mafia. And they control human trafficking. They use this hidden technology. This is the most powerful weapon that they have right now. They want to control and enslave the whole world with this hidden psychotronic technology. It's based on some kind of ancient technology which was rebuilt, and people like Nikola Tesla, they actually rebuilt this type of technology. Then the Nazis perfected it, and nowadays these agencies, these three-letter agencies like the CIA, the MI6, the Israeli Mossad, these types of agencies, they have this technology, and this is their most powerful weapon. They control their mafia, they coordinate their mafia with this weapon. They don't fight human trafficking. They are human trafficking. They are terrorists. They don't fight terrorism because they are the terrorism. Those in power, those in government are the terrorists. They're the evil, nasty, insane cultists from the death cults, from the secret Masonic or Jesuitical societies. They're from this giant club, this satanic rich elite club. And they think that they can just control us all. But they are mistaken. And what they're planning to do is they want to segregate society into those who obey them, who will take the jab, who will be conformist to them, like these very nasty, sycophantic and stupid people who get crushed by those satanic and evil forces. But when they realize they're being crushed, it is already too late for them. And those who are free people, like me, who are part of the resistance against the system, and what they're planning to do, they want to isolate us, to not give us good things from society. They don't want to give us love. They don't want to give us intimacy. They set people against us. They make people gang stalk us. They basically want us isolated, without money, without property. They want to take away everything from us. And at this point, They're trying to install this in the political arena. I will explain to you how they're planning to do it. They want to remove currency, paper money, because right now, let's say I am rejected by their corporations. Their corporations are part of their banking cartels, and they're all all allied with the evil death codes and with the international crime syndicate. And let's say they hate me, they terrorize me, they gang stalk me, and they don't give me a job from their HR, human resource corporations. And now just look at the name, human resources. They don't value the human as a person, as someone with a spirit, but they see the human as a resource. They don't respect the human. They're disrespectful towards the human. And all of these corporations, they basically control who gets to work for them, who gets to make money and live, and who is rejected by the system. And now, if I'm rejected by the system, I can find another job, which is not for a corporation, and get my paper money and go to the store, buy my stuff, have my private property. But what they want to install, they want to remove even this from my life. They want to centralize everything, a centralized banking system, centralized currency, which is AI controlled by some insane dev cultists at the top of this control pyramid. It's a huge pyramid scheme, and they basically want to remove us from society. This is what they want to do. And they want to censor us, they want mass censorship. In Europe, they flood Europe with migrants, with terrorists, dark-skinned Islamic terrorists. They're probably planning for some kind of war. At this point, it will not surprise me. If they do some kind of genocide event, they do it every couple of centuries. These insane Atonists, they wipe out a huge portion of humanity. They don't respect humanity. Humans are just slaves to them. And it baffles me how come there are humans who actually work for them and want to sacrifice themselves for them when they don't even respect their soldiers. They view their soldiers as animals. Basically, an American president has said this in a speech in the last century, that they view their army as animals. They don't respect even their army. And a lot of veterans from the army who come home from some insane, needless wars, they're left homeless, they're left traumatized. The government doesn't care about the veterans. It does not respect even the veterans. So why would anyone want to put his life on the line for those insane death cultists who have no respect for humans? It is a very strange phenomenon, but I guess some things remain a mystery. I guess the stupidity of people is always a big mystery. And those who like to serve this system are very idiotic. They're like idiots from Idiocracy. And they don't even get how idiotic they are. They get poisoned by the jabs, by this system, by the needlecraft, and they don't understand this. They just comply like the total idiots they are. It's a very strange phenomenon, but alas, it happens. And this is what they're planning to do. The HR corporations who have human resources compartments, They're basically like human traffickers. There is fundamentally no difference between human traffickers and them, because they stalk people, they gang stalk people, they spy on people. When you apply for a job, they basically see every little private detail of your life. They spy on your family, on your close people. And if you have this label put on you by these private agencies, like that you're a dissident, for example, a social activist, a whistleblower, some type of person who is targeted, a targeted individual, they don't hire you for a job. Or if you get somehow hired, they tell your co-workers to harass you, to show you bad attitude at work, to basically ostracize you, to bully you. They're bullies, and they just want to bully you into submission. But they work in the shadows. They fear the truth, because if they expose this program, they will get killed. And I can expose this program all I want, because I'm their target, and they're not allowed to expose this program. They have to hide like rats in the shadows, like weak, pussified rats, and they're not allowed to speak the truth. And the truth will destroy them. One day they will be destroyed by the truth. They fear the truth the most out of everything. This is why every single religion of theirs is built on lies. They lie and lie and lie and enslave humanity, crush the spirit of humanity. All they do is lie to you. All of your life they just lie to you. They never tell you the truth. They don't tell you that the government is evil. They lie to you. They don't protect you. All of this is not to protect you, it's to take away your rights. All of this surveillance, this stalking, it was never meant to protect you. It does the exact opposite. It damages you. It gets in your privacy. It gets in your private home, in your private property. In your head, they're the thought police. Like the book 1984 from George Orwell, he warned humanity about this. It's now here, what he was writing in the book. We are now living in these times. And there is a thought police, they want to censor us everywhere. They're evil to the core. They have no compassion towards humanity. And this is how the program works. Basically, they isolate you. They also use these false, fake psychiatric institutions. You should never go to the psychiatrist if you're a targeted individual, because the psychiatrist is not your friend. In fact, he's your enemy. He's a trained lackey, a slave of their evil system, and his main function is to gaslight you. They have come up with these names to diagnose you. If you get terrorized by them, by those, the secret societies, the Masons, the police, the cartels, the mafia, the government, and they come up with this label that you're mentally ill, when you're not mentally ill, but they have made you artificially have these symptoms, which the psychiatrist can use to put a label on you. And if you go there and get this label, they can send you to the loony bin. They can put you in handcuffs, drug you up, rape you in the loony bin. There are Satanists in the loony bin in the psychiatry, and they rape the people there. It's a very satanic, nasty world. They all worship Moloch. They commit human sacrifice, like those dancing, cringy doctors who used to kill people during the 2020 times. They're the same types, and you should never trust this system. This system is your mortal enemy. They're not out to help you, they're out to destroy you. and they have all of this technology to turn this planet into a paradise. They have anti-gravity technology. They can take free energy from the ether. They can remove all of these petrol cars, all of these oil-based cars, and they can give free energy to people. They can give homes to everyone, give free food to everyone, but they don't do it because they want people to suffer, because they are evil. They feed on suffering, they feed on sacrifice. They don't have mercy towards humanity, and so they don't give this technology to humans. This is why I think that they could make a genocide event like the Great Reset. This is what this means. There is a reset from the previous civilization. They reset it. They probably reset it. And they reset these civilizations. They make these cataclysmic events somehow. They kill off the population. They then repopulate through their artificial means. And they could be planning something of the sort, because they just don't allow good to thrive here. They don't want good to thrive. They crush the good. They allow only the evil to thrive in this world. This is what I have observed. And their totalitarian fascist program of gangstalking is the perfect example. When they don't like you for no particular reason, just some kind of pure hatred towards you, they target you and they want to take away your power. They want to ruin your life. They want to terrorize you. They stalk you. They beam nasty voices into your head. They insult you all day. They swear at you all day. They send these mafia gangsters to gangstalk you, to follow you around. They're very nasty creatures. Basically, they're evil to the core, and this is what they do. They use these corporations, these human resources compartments, to choose people who are idiots for the job. They promote the idiot. They can make him the CEO. Because the idiot, he will turn on his colleagues, on his family. He will betray his own people, his own race. He will betray his white race. And he will be an informant for the police, an informant for the secret agencies, for the government, for these satanic death codes. He will basically be a traitor, a gangstalker, a spy, and he will watch people in their most intimate moments. He will not respect people. And these are the types of people, even if you look at them facially, if you analyze their phenotype in a phrenological sense, most of them, they look like these bovine cattle type of nasty creatures, like orcs, like goblins, like gremlins, like these very nasty, ugly looking types, most of them. In some rare cases, there are some normal looking people who are part of this conspiracy, but mostly, like if you go to, let's say, a job, you see the colleagues there, most of them, I guarantee you, will look like rats or like hamsters. When you look at their faces, they will not have a humane look about them. They will look like these rat creatures, and this is what they are inside also. They will rat you out, they will stalk you, they have groupthink. They will ally themselves with some stupid group and mob you. They will mob you in the workplace. They will mob you and follow you and stalk you. Basically, they are unpleasant creatures very unpleasant creatures. They are probably not real humans. They could not be spirited. For example, they probably do not possess free will. They just follow orders. They're slaves, automatons of the system. And these types, they should never be allowed to dominate you. That they should not tell you what to do. They should not have positions like a CEO above you in life. And now what they're trying to do, the evil forces, they want you to be enslaved by these hamster rat types, by these weak, unpleasant types. Because now you can still get a job outside of their traditional corporation systems. You can still get your food, your house, everything. But they want to take this away from you. They want you to be their slave. And I will not be surprised if they create some type of genocide event to get rid of 90% of humanity, for example, and only keep their most useful idiots at bay who will obey them. I will not be surprised at this point. But this program, this targeted individual program, I tell you, it is international. In every country in which there is technology, internet, satellites, it is there, this program. And people should not give up. We should create some type of alternative community if they start to kick us out of society, because our survival will depend on it. They want to take away our resources. I hope they fail. From the bottom of my heart, I truly hope these forces of evil fail and they get sabotaged and they don't install these merciless systems of control. But we have to be prepared for everything. And people who are targeted, rejected by this evil system, should create alternative communities, should find ways to live off the land, basically, to not be dependent on those evil forces who want to tax you for everything.